but then we'll ask them to come finish up cut the cake, and we leave the cake here so that it can be served later. For the birthdays in the month of May, Seema. Very good. Arish. Tati. Dilip. Jyoti. Sumesh. Jyoti. Sumesh. Ray.
Great, last year. Somebody one year is over.
Veera. Sandeep Kaushik. Deepali Nath.
Oh,
Manish. After
missing children. Aftab and Arif.
and we'll also have the new joiners. We have a couple of them who joined today. Aditi has joined us today as the Institution Partnership Officer.
Jyoti ki team.
Yes.
Very good.
Yay. Dr. Yomi has joined us as the Project Manager. Has joined us as the Implementation Research Consultant. Edna has joined us in HR. Ajay. Zio.
जो नहीं है उनका फोटो दिखा दे.
So, Smita. One more name, that is Smita. Smita, Monica. Joined as the telephonic person for in the CP, child protection part. Birthdays. Birthdays. So,
I'll watch. Hey, children can't wait.
you come on, we have a separate cake.
Mine is last one. Come on, gang up around. Join the party. Gang up. One knife and cut two cakes.
Happy birthday to Happy birthday
Happy
New joiners.
Give us all a clap.
Thank you. Over to Thomas. Yeah, we'll just.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So, how has the month been? You know, one of the things that I was thinking about this meeting today. This morning, I was discussing with Shata. Why is that people are no more asking questions? Why is that people are no more giving a lot more, suggestions, recommendations? Is it because now this has become a part of the skyline? everyday affair, that it is losing its, some kind of losing its sharpness, impact, or you don't think it's useful because this is has to be your forum as much as it's my forum. It's as much as it's time for me to communicate. This should be your forum as well. If you don't find value in it, like I still do find value in reaching out, then we shouldn't be doing it, right? Should we or should we not?
We should.
We should. Yeah, it's a very silent, very muffled, muted kind of, yeah. But if you really don't find value, then we should actually not waste everybody's time. What do you think? See, give me some remarks. Give me some reassuring yes or a very well defining no.
I think people find it useful. I'm just sure that people are not saying it.
Sorry, people are not saying anything.
Just
That is my question. Why are people not saying anything? If this is a forum in which this is a forum in which I talk, you talk, we interact, we communicate. We communicate what has happened in the previous month. If you have any questions, concerns, it is a forum to raise. Because we started it when there was this complaint that we are kind of out of touch with people, that I'm not reaching out, SMT is not in touch. So we'd like to be in touch with you, listen to you, listen to your voices, wherever they are and whatever they are, and some concerns should bubble up in these meetings and to reach out, and so that we find solutions. And I thought that is how it has been, and it's been positive so far for me. But I'm just trying to understand, because anything that we do should make sense. So I'm just asking you, is it making sense or not? But that is what yes, Pooja, it makes sense. But others, is it making sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think that is more reassuring than is any other voice of dissent. Because this should also be a forum in which we would like to hear as many voices of dissent as possible. We have not come to power with 303 or whatever majority, and there are only 44 voices of dissent, which is also kind of completely confused at this point of time. But here is everybody can talk, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to see a lot more energy in this room. Okay. Good. So last 1 month, it's been another extremely crazy month of travel for me, and many of you have traveled as well. I was in Rajasthan. I think that was the only program visit I had. Did I go to any other state? Anybody? No. I think I went to Rajasthan. I went to Rajasthan and it was good. I went to Tonk. You know where Tonk is?
Yes.
And when I was coming out of one of those district meetings in the car, I just got into the car. It was so hot, and you know what the temperature was reading?
47.
50.
Crab.
Exactly. DN is exactly right. It was a reading outside. The actual temperature was only around 44, 45. But inside the car, with the AC on, it was almost like 50. Like that is what the indicators showed. But it was pretty hot, nice and hot in Tong. And a lot of good things have happened in Tong. You know what we are doing in Tong? How many of you been to Tong? How many of you been to Tong? Okay. So what is the great work that has happened in the Tong in the last 2 to 3 years that we've been there? Any idea? Health and education. Yeah. But what is the model that we have used there, which has been pretty interesting, innovative, and successful? What is the model that we have used in Tong? Those who have been there, yes, Prasanna, you have the answer.
Use of religious leaders as a means of
Yeah, so use of religious leaders to reach out to women, to say how important it is to look after to important it is how important breastfeeding is, how important it is to have institutional deliveries, etc. in this place. And then this is yeah, an interesting community, a mixed community. And there was this woman who came up to me and said that I was in London last month, and I was really shocked and surprised, and pleasantly surprised that is. And she was one of the health workers there. And then who went with you? And she said Neha Sabharwal went with me to London, and so I was very, very happy to hear that. And she was talking how the minister came up to her, and I don't know where they met the minister. It's pretty much like what we heard yesterday. Those two young people who said that the ministers were coming and speaking to them, etc. So many of our people are going to London and everywhere else and meeting ministers and so on, which is great. So I thought that visit was very, very interesting, useful, and more importantly, what got stuck in my head when I was leaving Rajasthan was a particular interesting event that happened last year. One of them in that state office was extremely ill, very, very sick. And and I wrote about it, and some of you may have seen it, how the entire office, including Ham Prasad, went on Google to search, who is the best doctor and which is the best hospital we can take one of our people to. And I was really happy. I'm happy to report that Ramakant, who was unwell, who traveled with me to Tong and came back, and he went through this harsh weather with me, and he was still looking good at the end of it. And he was so thankful to save the children. He was so thankful to his colleagues who stood with him like a family. Those are some of those good stories that we should be talking about. Those are the good stories as an organization that we should cherish. Those are the good practices that we should have. When one of us is going through difficulties, I mean, physical illness is one thing, and sometimes there could be other things, other family difficulties that we go through. Is it a place where I can come and find that support, find that comfort, find the different friendships? Can we rally around people and families and support them as an organization or as a family, as a group of people? I think that is so wonderful if that happens. So I'm very happy to report about Rajasthan, and I will. July is going to be a month of mixed month for me in terms of travel, etc. I'm not going to travel much. I'm going to take it easy because tomorrow my daughter is arriving, and she's going to be with us for a month and a half, and I'm going to spend as much time as possible I can and take some days off and to spend. I don't know if she wants me there around, but I would definitely like to spend time with her. So for the next 1.5 months, you will hopefully see, hopefully to you, see less of me. So I hope that is okay. Is that Sherry?
That's Dipali approving the leave.
Dipali is not saying, please go, get out of this place.
I believe I should have flexibility. I feel
So should I have the flexibility. So that is good. And the other thing is that, last 1 month, there was a whole lot of, after the new government has come in, the change of power that has happened. Oh, by the way, we are going to meet the health minister this evening at 8 o'clock at his house, Dr. Harsh Vardhan, and we are going to do some special education for him. And no, he has invited us, and we are going to invite him for some big event that's happening in Bihar. And sorry,
That's really nice.
that's really nice, yeah. And yesterday we got another invitation, and we said no. Actually, we had an invitation to go and meet the Minister of Labour Minister. Last time around, when Alok Rath and I went to meet the Minister of Labour. Do you know the story?
Yeah.
Huh? You know that story?
Yeah.
Okay, we went and met the labor minister, and Alok Rath started speaking, and the minister went off to sleep. How many of you know Alok Rath? Okay, Alok Rath is not around anymore, so I can tell you about the story. So he went off to sleep. So we do such interesting things, and I hope.
Is that why you didn't say yes?
Sorry.
Is that the reason you're not meeting the minister?
Alok is not with us, so it would have been. Yeah, but we didn't because Harpal, our chairman, was not there. He also wanted to go with us, so we couldn't. So today Harpal is there, and we just got this invitation. We got a letter from Maneka Gandhi, Menka Gandhi, and that's good, right? And she wrote to us actually acknowledging a letter which we wrote to her. So we are making some inroads, some connections with the new ministries. We already have connections with the various joint secretaries and so on. Where is Sudeep? Is he here? Anybody? Can somebody go look for Sudeep, because I want Sudeep here. Somebody go look for Sudeep. And if there is anybody else in the hanging around in the corridor, or
These guys, you must come inside.
yeah, please come inside. There is a okay. So talking about making connects with the ministry, we got very strong connects with various departments, ministries, etc. Last week there was this call to action meeting, which Save the Children had a big role to play globally, and it was in Washington D.C. and Sudeep was visiting London. So I asked Sudeep to go ahead, and Isha also went from here, and they went with the they were a part of this meeting, and also met the minister there. This is Harsh Vardhan, and there are some photographs also Sudeep sent to all of us with him. Is he here?
He's coming.
Yeah, he's coming. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Waiting.
Yes, sir. We were just talking about you, and I thought you should be here when I talk behind your back.
Please.
Yeah.
Behind my back, so I
Yes.
should stand in front of you, or,
Yes. Yes.
or behind your
Yeah.
back.
So he was there last week in Washington, taking part in this call to action meeting where our minister took part, and there was also our joint secretary and our secretary there, and they made the connect, and hopefully he will remember you when we see him today. Hopefully, yeah. And we are going to invite him, as I said, to the event that is going to be in Bihar, a political conclave that is happening on 20th of July, and we have the Chief Minister of Bihar already agreeing, right, Neeru?
Yes.
Already agreeing to be present there. So that is another opportunity. We are making different connections as we are talking about. And I started with saying that last 1 month there was a lot of hype, a lot of news in the paper, in the TV channel, and in fact 1 full day or 2 full days actually there was this TV news playing out, and our name was coming up there about an intelligence bureau report. I don't know whether it registered, whether you took it seriously, whether you got worried, confused, troubled. How many of you got worried, troubled? You didn't.
Not at all worried.
You're not at all worried. Okay, we really have nothing to worry about. That is what I've been telling people. Though there is people have been asking us questions. How come our name is there and so on. Our name was connected to with a particular agency that we supported in Gujarat, who was our partner until last year when we were running this IKEA project, cotton project in Gujarat, and those agency, there was a specific mention of that agency in the IB report, and some of us, Save the Children, Oxfam, CRY, and some others who actually supported them. So that was the indirect mention that we've had. But we now know that from very reliable sources within the Prime Minister's office and so on, that at this point of time, Prime Minister does not have the time for anything apart from handling issues like inflation. And you know what is happening at this point of time: delayed monsoon and the huge promise that they have to deliver, on which they came to power. So this is really on at the bottom of priorities as far as the government is concerned. However, the media has been playing it up. We are at no risk whatsoever. We don't have any directive from the government of any sort, positive or negative, to report. The only feelers that we have sent to the government, and the reports that we are, I mean, what we are getting from the government is more positive and reassuring. So if you have any worries, don't worry. We are here for a long haul, here to stay. And by the way, our only interest is children. And I keep telling this: we are neither left nor right. We are child-centric, right? That is our only agenda. We don't have any political agenda. We don't have any religious agenda. We are non-religious. We are non-political, and we are child-centered organization. So keep that in your mind. I was also in London for exactly 2 days. I was there on from Sunday evening to Wednesday. Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, I was at the office. I was said to attend. You know that Save the Children India, and I am a part of the global steering group of the CEOs. That is a group which has got board membership of Save the Children International. And this meeting, we discussed two important issues. One is the steer for the strategy, next strategy period, which is starting in 2016. So we are just looking at it. We went through a very long, 1 year long, almost mid strategy evaluation, and now we are thinking, what is the world is going to look like in 2030? What is the change for children that globally we want in 2030? What is going to be our target in terms of children? Will they be the most marginalized children, as we have always been? The good news I would like to report back to you is that we are still going to focus on the most marginalized children. As all of you know, the last mile is always the hardest, or the most difficult mile to walk, or the most difficult hurdle to cross. It is the last mile. And where are the most marginalized children? By the way, the economists predict that by 2030, this world will have said goodbye to poverty. At least large chunks of places, poverty would be history, and there will be still difficult, most marginalized people, but they'll be the hardest to reach. They will be living in conflicts. They'll be living in difficult situations where it is difficult to reach in terms. So what we need to make sure that we have the adequate resources and also the risk-taking, the two R's, resources and risk-taking ability, or our appetite for risk should be higher. So I keep saying this, even in our own conflict zones, if we have to get in there and if we have to create an impact, then we should have adequate resources as well as adequate risk-taking ability. Those are the things that globally we are thinking, and we are actually looking at how to reach them. So tied in with the global strategy starting in 2016 is also Save the Children India strategy period. We are going to realign our strategy period, which should have ended in the year 2016. We are starting off a new strategy period to realign with the global strategy period starting in 2016, and the discussions are just about to start. What should India focus on for the next 30 years? I'm talking about 30 years, 2030, that is post 2015. You know about the MDG, which is getting over in 2015, and there is a huge discussion about post 2030 15 post MDG discussions. So how will we be a part of it? What should our 2030 goal be, vision be, and how we are going to strategically align us in the next 3 years starting in 2016. The other thing, as I said, the second important thing which we discussed was the budget for the year 2015. So the budget discussion has already started. We just finished, have we finished? We have the 1st of July, right? Finished 6 months, we're talking about next year. We are also kicking off our own budgeting process in the next 1 month. So we would like each one of you to be engaged in that budget process, and we want budget to be zero budgeting instead of looking at last year what happened plus or minus 10%, or looking at the pot of money that we have and say that this is the pot of money you spent according to this money that we have. I think what we need to do is that what is that we want to do, and for that how much is the money that is required to reach there, and how much is money that is available, and then do that back and forth discussion and finally arrive at what our budget is going to be. So to all of you, we're going to be busy with the budget process, which will start, the discussion will start soon, and definitely by October, November, we should have a good fix on the numbers where we are going in the year 2015. Yeah. So that is what it is as far as and a lot of very interesting things are happening. And India is I keep asking Sudeep this question: are we running the global operations, or are we running India? Because all of us seem to be traveling quite a bit. Because all of us are required in many of these committees of the world. He was actually representing me on a committee called the Strategy Sounding Board, where the working groups were feeding back into the sounding board, and the sounding board then was feeding back to the CEO steering group on strategy. So that is how it was working. And then India is needed there, so he was there. And India is needed in the thematic leadership group, and he is there. And India is a part of the global. Hello. Those of you are leaving this place. Can I ask you to come back? This is not the Parliament House. Why don't you all come inside? Why you even have this half eyes looking outside and close the door? Chairs, you can stand there comfortably as well. There are chairs here as well. Yeah. Well, it's kind of rude, right? If you leave the room when somebody is talking, or it's not. Exactly. Okay. So what was I talking about? I just lost track.
No, thematic leadership group in India is required there. Then probably GIs.
Yeah, there are other global initiatives. I think we are sitting in so many other committees of the globe, and let me tell you that Save the Children International cannot actually live without India or India's presence. We are making our presence. We have already made our presence heard, and everything else. And they want continued thought leadership from the southern part of the world. And India is doing a great job. Be it at the steering group or be it at the board, India is doing a great job, and you should be proud of that. And now there goes my speaking notes, and it's going to be an embarrassing silence because I can't see my notes. Don't worry. I can see there's only 1 or 2 points more. Should I remember the points? What is the next point? Sorry? Okay. Eggy comes. We need light for Eggy. Yeah. Okay. The other thing which I wanted to talk about was about turnover in an organization. You know what a turnover? Turnover not as in turnover as in aggregate money that is turning over. I'm talking about the people turnover. Okay. I've always, had this kind of a utopian feeling that, we build a great team and the great team should stay together forever. Is that practical? What do you think? Now, nobody is looking at you. You can talk. Is that possible? Yes. In a healthy organization, there has to be a healthy movement of people. People should move around. And if people don't move around, it's considered unhealthy. And so if you were to look at a benchmark, they say that, what is our turnover? Any idea? Last year's turnover? Is Diwali back?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one. Okay. You should know. What was last year's turnover? Any idea? The number? Is it 9%? Or 6 to 7%? That's it. What was last year's turnover? Okay, 8 to 9% was last year's turnover. Is it good or bad? 8 to 9% of the organization that is
Very good.
It's fair.
General
okay. So you are saying it's very good. Okay.
industry norm is 13.
Okay. She says industry norm is 13. Which industry?
In general attrition rate.
Okay. So general attrition rate at 13% is what is that? I was told by our global HR director, when we had an HR presentation, that anything less than 8% is unhealthy. Which means, my utopian idea of everybody should stay together as a family and we should never leave and we should all have that camaraderie feeling, etc., is not practical. And not only that, anything less than 8%, if people are actually staying on, is not good for the organization. Because
And on that note, Diwali is back.
sorry.
Sounds like you're encouraging.
No.
Let me also tell you that I'm so glad that many people are coming back. There are 2 people who have come back in the recent past. Is she here?
No, even Priyanka's come back. Pooja has come back.
Okay, Priyanka has come back, Pooja has come back, Garima has come back. What's happening? That means obviously you didn't go because you didn't think the organization was terrible, right? They went for various reasons and now they have accomplished all those things that they had to accomplish outside and they have come back. So really welcome back. And it's good, Pooja, we'll ask some questions at the end of it because that is what we're missing. Now I know the answer, right? You are the one who was missing. We'll have a lot more questions at the end of it. So there is a healthy movement that should be there. It is unhealthy when it goes beyond what you talked about, 13 to 14%. It is unhealthy. That means people are going because of, I don't like my boss, I don't like this, I don't like her look, she looked at me, he looked at me, so I must go. All those kind of things will happen. All the wrong reasons. So we should have a healthy turnover of people. No, I'm not saying that people should leave. I don't want. I'm still one of those old conservative thinker that everybody should stay on as much as possible. But I was just telling you some numbers. So we also are seeing some more numbers than last year, probably this month. Some people are leaving, but they are all leaving with extremely goodwill, leaving behind goodwill. And that's really good. They go out and create more goodwill for us. And again, whenever there is time to come back, they come back. So I just wanted to tell you that. I think that pretty much sums up what I wanted to tell you. Just to give you, that Pallavi left last time that we said goodbye to Pallavi. It's about a month now. Can you believe that? And it's a month since Pallavi left. we have the update on finance directors. We got some excellent candidates whom we are doing a final interview this Saturday. This coming Saturday, the final interview is always with the board. So we have the farm committee, that is the finance and audit committee chair of the board, as well as our own chair will be there for that final selection, and hopefully we will have the right person join us soon after that. So I guess that's it. What I wanted to communicate. Okay, let me open it up for you to ask questions, and of course there is the great excitement of EGI that follows after that. Yeah. Questions, answers, clarifications. You have to now. Otherwise, I'll have to go ask everybody to ask. Pooja will have to lead us since you're back. Okay. Do you see anything? Any change in the? How long have you been out? 2.5 months. Things look the same. Okay. Sorry. You miss Save the Children, so you're back. So welcome back. Okay. Any other questions? This is your forum. This is your forum to ask. This is your forum to criticize. This is your forum to say that to bash the boss if you have to, or at least bash me if you want to. Not your bosses. Yeah. You want to? Yeah. It's open. This is an open forum, and then there are also some excellent good tidings on our way, and you know the biggest news, you know. There's 2 more TWTs away. I thought this.
My size, 2 more TWT.
But this morning I thought that it might be today. So.
Every day looks like that.
Every day looks like that in the next 2 months. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, but then that's good news. You know, we should. You know, this is a great place for people to come get married and have children.
Yes. Absolutely.
There are many people who have come, gotten married, and many of you are singles. I think it's a great place to look forward to get married, have children, and then have grandchildren, and stay on. Yeah, it's a lovely place. Okay. Yes.
Actually, Chetan, I don't know, Chetna's here. Okay, so I get a lot of queries wherein when team people, not team from head office, other people who travel with donors, our international partners to visit programs, they come back to us asking for maybe branded t-shirts or something that they can wear, because we always insist on, we always ask for good photographs of those where you wear a branded t-shirts or something like that. So I thought maybe it would be a good idea, if I don't know, it falls under whom, HR, it falls under us, I don't know where, but if we could have something like that.
It falls under whoever has got money. Go for it. I'm with you.
You've already gone for it, by the way.
If you have the budget,
I
please
said you
go
give
ahead.
me money,
I have paid no money from you.
If you don't have the budget, create one.
Yeah,
I
I
have
think
paid for mine. Yes,
No, it's a good idea. I thought even those 2 kids who went to Brussels, they should have been wearing Save the Children t-shirts. It would have been a wonderful way of getting to know people, and Save the Children attracts attention. And they were saying that.
yeah.
The moment they said that, they are from Save the Children, kind of the ice broke.
Yes.
In international forums, it's important. So when we have visitors for photo opportunity, everybody wear t-shirts. Good idea. I think we should have some Save the
No,
Children,
photographs, they don't have-
Save the Children
I'm sorry,
merchandise that should be made available, and we should pay money and get it.
I paid for my 2 t-shirts.
And you'll get one. One is for somebody else.
You take one. You take one out of those 2.
Yeah. Okay, good suggestion. We should do it, but find out. Take the leadership to find out who should be doing it.
I mean, I just want to know who wants to put money.
Say,
I'll get it printed. I'll get.
Exactly.
Say, our money goes only when money comes. If there's money coming out of it, if everybody's ready to pay, then okay. So as long as money is informed, I can get the t-shirts done.
Okay.
CEO budget,
You want to say
yeah.
something about the upcoming peer
CEO budget
review?
is a good
Peer
suggestion.
review as a big exercise.
CEO budget also.
We talked about peer review already. Yeah. So, anyways, if that is a question, I'll answer. There is a
So what is the update on the peer review? What is it looking like?
No, the peer review is a process by which the rest of the organization, some of the peers that we have, other members, will have a look at us and say where we are and where we need additional help. And globally, if you look at it, India is considered to be, and it's actually leading the race amongst other members like Save the Children South Africa, Save the Children Brazil, and yet to be Save the Children China. We are leading the race to be the future leader of Save the Children International. So there's a lot of interest from the global to be investing into this country, not just money, but also intellectual investment into this country. So that's happening all around us, and we are going to have this peer review process, which is already kicked off. And one of the things that Tove is, she's a CEO of Save the Children Norway, and she was telling in that global group of the steering group that I don't know why I should be looking at Save the Children India. They seem to be so organized. What can I tell them? And we did a self-assessment, by the way, a self-assessment of Save the Children. She said she has never seen such a well-documented self-assessment anywhere. So we are already there for her, right? And we know that, excellent, great. But we know where our faults are, right? So that's okay. But globally, when they're looking at us, they look at India as a great potential. And in the month of August, we will have some global people descent on us. There will be Rihanna Myers coming from US. Norway, we will have Tova. And we will have some people coming from UK and look at us. And then it is not just to look at us with very critical eyes. But of course, we need criticism so that we will be able to get our act together and do it better. So they will go back and form this, give us this report, and also advise us how we should be doing. What should be our next game? Sometimes it gets boring if you're growing, and then suddenly we are plateauing. And now, what is the next step? What is going to be the next game changer? Is it the government funding? I don't know. Is it going to be, and what is happening globally? Are we going to lose some of the bilateral funding? We might. So then what do? We need to think. We need to keep ahead of the race. So I think it's really important. By the way, when I talk about this IB report, etc., and I don't think you're all so concerned. I had a couple of sleepless nights, and I called the board in. The board came together. I don't know if any of you noticed. We had a board meeting, and I called 4 CEOs, the big ones. The CEO of Oxfam, World Vision, ActionAid. None of them were as worried as I was about what could happen, and but then they were worried as in yes, things could happen, but they were doing nothing about it. So in terms of getting ready for an eventuality, also I think we seem to be a lot more proactive than anybody else. And I just thought of it when I was talking about this peer review. And this peer review process, nobody wanted to do anything to India because only 2010 they did a review. I put up my hand in a global forum and said we would like to be reviewed because we need help. We need to change our game from here. We need to become, if we have to become a 1,000 crore organization, we have to. It is not just about money, but it's about those children. because we need much larger resources. We need to change our game. Okay, other questions. Sorry, I keep talking. Questions. Please ask questions. Otherwise, I will go to the conclusion again. I'll come back. Yes,
What about
Nikki.
what about learning opportunities for the people here in this organization? Going out and secondments, brief secondments, exchange.
Yes, I think that's a very
Okay,
important.
I would encourage you all to
I might
read the
know.
latest Economist. The cover story. The cover story is called Creative Destruction. And what they're talking about is that there are some phenomenally good articles about the destruction that is going to happen in the education scene, where all the big universities in one way or the other is going to shut down. And the knowledge, where is our knowledge management?
It just got happened.
She
They
decided.
all type themselves.
It's every possible learning. Now, you go to Harvard, and there are terrible professors in Harvard as well, right? Why should you go and sit in front of a terrible professor when you can get the best professor in the world to be available to you to the subject that you want online? Okay.
No.
Okay, there is a certain element of socialization, culturalization, etc. But I don't believe that all the time learning is about leaving this country and going to some place and learning. That's a good experience, but it also can be no learning. Had some fun and came back. But the question was about secondment. There are some opportunities that is coming up globally, which is going to be announced soon, and there will be. You all can apply to country director also. But interestingly, these are all for. Interestingly, these are all for short time assignments.
3 months assignments, about 6 to 7 positions are there, and they are going to announce it tomorrow.
Yeah, so you're all welcome to apply. But at the same time, remember that that will all be paid and looked after. But we cannot be sending everybody out for training, etc. Which I think there are fantastic opportunities in the country itself. I keep telling people to go out into our own fields and learn. Just being there is learning. Yeah. But secondment opportunities, yes. Short-time opportunities, yes. But the next opportunity for the globe is in your hands. It is in this small little thing. It's available right here. Buy an Android machine.
What do you have against iPhone?
Sorry?
What do you have against Apple?
Apple is fine as well. But I have an Android. And using Android. By the way, the biggest news I didn't tell you. Did you all get your salaries?
About your bill.
Did you all get your salaries? Did you find that your salary was is a little less than normal? Yes. You paid my telephone bill. You know how much?
This one.
You know how much? 1,30,000 rupees.
Medal.
So thank you very much. It was
All thanks to technology and Facebook.
HR made that announcement that everybody is paying a contribution to my telephone bill. Why are you looking so surprised? Yeah. What?
1,30,000.
Yeah. Oh, that you're surprised about, not about your salary. being reduced.
That is second to Modi's bill. Modi's bill probably was a little higher, and the second in line is Thomas Chatterjee.
Yeah.
So next PM.
Don't ask me how it happened. But that's life.
Don't
But-
ask, seriously.
But still I'll go for an Android. Okay.
Anas, can I ask that if you answer that question though? Because
Sorry.
buy an Android machine.
What's it called? Exposure by an Android.
Android. Okay. Any other questions? Who are the people who are just joined, new, fresh, and only been here a week?
A day.
A day.
First day.
Who is the first day?
So many.
Two of us. Yeah.
Okay. Could you please introduce yourself and say how you feel? You want to run away?
By the way, KM is back now that you're.
Okay, we are talking about knowledge management and you run away. Not management, the acquisition of knowledge and creative destruction. Okay, we'll talk about it.
You can just say what an excellent.
Knowledge management team we have. Exactly.
Very
Dissemination. Okay, please, I would like to hear you. I hope we have interviewed you properly and then you all can speak at least. That is something which we check out. Let us see.
Voice. Okay, yeah, hi, I'm Aditi, and today is my first day. It's been good till now.
Till now. What do you mean? What's happening now?
Till now, right now.
Aditi, your surname as well because we've other Aditi.
Aditi Mishra, I'm the third
We
one.
have
Mishra.
two Aditi Mishra.
It won't help now. Only Aditi Mishra. 1, 2, 3 or something like that.
3 Aditi Mishras.
Yeah,
That is
Aditi Mishra seems very.
too much.
I joined as in the IP team as institutional partnership officer. Yes. So it's been great, and I'm looking forward to.
What's your background? Where are you from?
I did my masters from Tata Institute. After that, I worked with Rio Tinto, and now I'm here. I worked with Rio Tinto for 2 years. Rio Tinto India.
Okay. Great. Excellent. Yep.
She's the second Aditi in Ireland itself.
Aditi Mishra in Arab.
So AM1, AM2.
Yes, that's how it would be now, I guess.
Mm.
Not very, we are also both the parity get also
Yeah.
all sorts of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Anything you want to ask?
Any question?
Not now.
No.
Maybe the next meeting.
Okay. Who is next? New today? Fresh?
Hi, I'm Naomi, and I joined as project manager, SNL program, and
As on
as
what is
program
it?
manager for SNL.
SNL. So you're a medical person?
I'm a dentist by training, and then I did public health,
Okay.
and that's what it is, I guess.
From where?
And I'm worried about my salary now.
That was the last one, he's already paid the bill.
And July is
When you process the salary for last
What if we got another round of this?
Another round. So you're all very kind people, and your CEO go bankrupt or hungry.
So we actually also met and interacted at the Bihar Innovation.
Yes,
Okay. So where were you before?
I was
Naomi?
at Seva Bharat, Self-Employed Business Association.
Is that Mirai's organization? Was where you were? Mirai was here this morning.
Oh, she was there?
Yeah. She's on our board.
I see, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Naomi. Okay. And Shiv. You.
Well, okay.
Are you new?
Yeah, this is my first time in this meeting.
So then you'd like to tell us about yourself.
Well, I have been in Save the Children for 2.5 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And I was working as an outsource. Yeah, today is my first day, and it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to a meeting like this.
Okay.
I'm in the Donor Development Department.
What is your name? Did you say your name?
Shanghai Dilpanmai, but since my name is difficult to pronounce, people call me Christy.
That's not fair.
Christine.
Christy.
Yeah. But what's your actual name and say that again?
Shanghai Dilpanmai.
But that Christy has nothing to do with it.
But it's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's very pretty name.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Shiv Shankar, joined as an implementation research consultant with the SNL group. And before coming to here, I was working with NIPI program, Norway India Partnership Initiative, which is based in UNDP.
Are you also a medical person?
No, I'm public health management graduate.
Public health. Okay. Another PhD. Good. Welcome. Is there anybody who is here for the very first time? Yes. Yeah. I mean, those of you are not introduced. Okay. Yes.
I'm Swinder, and I've joined as a development trainee with Source Mobilization Corporate Partnership.
And you're from?
I've done MSW from Tata.
Okay. So it's all test. Yeah. We need to break that monopoly of
You may
test.
not want to.
You may not want to.
Okay.
You may not want to. Someone not here.
We are from 8 test someone that you are
Sorry? But then there are other institutes also. But otherwise they will think that they are the best.
I know we do.
We have SOAS and yes. And everybody else. Somebody else from yes would like
I
to.
am Monica. मैंने यहाँ पे एज ए टेलीकॉलर ज्वाइन किया है मिसिंग चिल्ड्रन प्रोजेक्ट में एंड मैंने 23rd को ज्वाइन किया है अभी तक बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है इट्स क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट
Good, very good. Welcome.
बेसिकली आई एम फ्रॉम असम एंड मैं पहले म्यूजिक टीचर थी
Oh,
तो अभी यहाँ पे मुझे ये डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ जॉब फॉर मी एंड इट्स वेरी चैलेंजिंग एंड इट्स सो इंटरेस्टिंग
Very good. Good.
Thanks.
If it's not challenging, it can't be interesting.
Actually, it's difficult,
Boring.
difficult because मेरा जो calling होता है वो झारखंड, बिहार and West Bengal. That's why झारखंड people के साथ जब डील करती हूँ तो वो लोग अपने भाषा में बात करते हैं तो सब लोग अच्छे से हिंदी भी नहीं जानते तो मुझे कभी कभार उनके साथ
म्यूजिक में बात
It is a universal language. Sing a song for them. That is the problem. Good. Anybody else here for the very first time? Never been here before? Sorry?
Mrs.
Okay. Any further question? Otherwise, we'll move to the next item on the agenda. Any other question? Okay. Good. So until next month, so stay well. Yes, it has. I'll get on to it later. I'm just giving my remarks as conclusion. After that, I won't come back. All right. So I hand it over to Shweta for the announcement of the EGI.
He's going to come over and make the announcement for the
Next EGI. Okay, for the
I have to explain this to us.
Yes, for the information of understanding of the people who don't know what an EGI is, Shweta, will you just take them through what EGI is, the origin of it, and where we are going with it?
Yes, we started this initiative this year. It's basically an award which a staff member hands over to another staff member. And it's a very, for staff members, it's a very personal, any of your colleagues, you appreciate something in them, the good work they're doing, holding up the values of the organization. So it's not, there's no panel for this award. The lead got this award from the last awardee, and now he's going to, it's his choice, he decides on the next awardee.
And what do you mean by EGI?
Oh, sorry, of course. Eglantine Jeff was our founder, so hence the EGI. We were actually not the, we created. We are not the creator. We hijacked this from SCUS. Yes. SCUS has this EGI award, which they've been running, I think, for about 30 years now, right? Sometime.
And what about that board? Tell them about the board.
It's at the reception. And when you come towards the reception to where Mona's sitting, you're going to see a board. That's our eggs of fame. So all the EGIs, the eggs of our organization have the picture put up there.
So this is going to be the 6th one or the 5th one? 5th one. Okay. So there's a May award we are announcing.
This is May. EGI for May. And what do you do for Easter?
Bunnies.
एक ही award for the month of May 2014 goes to Neha Jain.
And by the way, we didn't make an announcement. I forgot. How could I? No. You were not here. Last time I told people that I went for your wedding.
We told her. Yeah.
We talked about. She's the latest bride of the organization, and she looked so wonderful and glowing. And I've never attended a wedding like that with some 10 elephants in the front. And everything else. Wow. And I only waited 2 hours for the bride to arrive at 10 o'clock. But it was lovely to see many young people whom she invited, and I'm very grateful to you for inviting an old man. Which other friends of yours don't. They go out for dinner and they see me and they say, no, we don't want you. Okay. Please come. And why this award?
Neha Jain contributed to grants team from 2010 to 11. That is almost 2 years. He did very good job, and that time she reported grants, audited grants, and some salary allocation for all the grants. She did and did well also. And now she is managing, developing grant budget, and I think she's doing well, and mainly. And she become extremely knowledgeable in her role, spends endless hours to work.
Not anymore. No more endless.
Complete her task. Complete her task. And this quality of her has been found to be helpful during emergency time. Is it correct? Well, organization need to submit several proposal and budget to different donor in short turnaround time, and she did well.
Okay.
I have closely worked with Neha 2.5 years, and I have found her dependable, efficient, and punctual. I sincerely appreciate her cheerful attitude and respect to colleagues. I have seen her resolving conflicts and handling difficult situations with remarkable patience and admirable tact. She loves people, work hard, and always try to lift the spirit of those around her. I believe these characteristics represent all that is good in our organization. I am pleased to nominate Mrs.
Good choice.
No, she's
What do they go slow?
Speaking of turn it around. Pictures. Okay, acceptance speech.
Thank you.
You know what? When I was, I read your mail when the TWT happened last time, and I read that Dilip has got the award, and I was shouting and screaming there, and I was telling my husband that he's one of the best persons I've known
That's
since
why
I've
she
been here.
everything.
I'm so happy that he got it because he totally deserved it. So getting this award from somebody I respect, admire, and I know I can call upon any time of the day for any problem, and I know I will get the right advice and support. That's an honor in itself. Thank you so much. That's it. I think this entire month has been a big party for me, and this award means a lot. This award means my last more than 4 years of hard work and dedication that I have put into and totally sincerely believed into Save the Children. I read the mail when I was in Seychelles for my honeymoon about that IB news and all those reports and things, and honestly, I didn't worry. I didn't worry a bit because I know this organization, I know the people who work here, and I know the passion they have because I share the same passion. So there's nothing to worry about really.
Good.
And I would just say that this is cherry on the cake.
Good.
And this is not just for me, for everybody who's been working with me for last 4 years and mentoring me and letting me know that this is when you've done good work and this is where you can improve. So thanks everyone and cheers and thank you again. Thank you.
Good, excellent. Great work. Any advice for the singles?
Shadi.com, yeah.
Good, that's it.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.